Hey, what's going on? This is Sunshine.
And E.
All right, and what time is it?
It is time for story time.
That's it.
Yes. It is story time. Interesting.
Yeah. It's been fun doing these actually.
I have been having a good time with these things.
I really enjoy it because I really, some of the questions I pick out questions that I really want to express myself, and then I pick questions that, man, I kind of really want to hear what she thinks about that. So when I'm looking or thinking of questions, those are the things that I'm thinking about. What could really be interesting as far as what I like to say and what I think she may like to say. But you're going to be kicking off the questions, right? So before we get started, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also share and comment below. But before we get started, we're going to get started. Go ahead. I was going to get into something else, but I'll tell you what, let's just get into the question.
My question that I have for you is, would you choose, if you had the opportunity to choose whether to be born healthy?
Born healthy? Okay.
Or born unattractive? Which would you rather?
Are you saying, now let me get this question. Are you saying, you said healthy or wealthy? What did you say?
What did I say? I said wealthy.
Oh, you said healthy, I thought.
Did I say healthy?
That's what it sounded like. But that's why
My bad.
That's why I repeated it, because I was making sure I was getting that right. Because, we kind of both go over our questions, so it kind of, but anyway.
Yeah, well, don't start doing questions without going over them, so.
Well, I would have just went with it, but, it's cool. But, so.
Wealthy or unattractive? Someone, because I asked a couple of friends of mine, and I said, I was looking for a good question, and this was one of them, but they said ugly, and I was like, I don't really want to do that, because you can be beautiful but ugly inside, So I just said unattractive. I thought that was the better word to use.
That's all like the guy that wants to go out this girl, and he tells his friend, "Hey man, she's got a sister, man. Could you go out?" And you ask her, "Oh, she's beautiful inside. She's not." So it kind of sounds like that when you say everybody could be beautiful inside. But
what? You know what? This is my question. Mine.
Okay.
Would you, if you were born either way? Because some people are born with a silver spoon in their mouth.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that made them ugly.
And it could have.
Made them buck teeth.
It could have. Okay. But I'm just saying, if you were born.
What would I rather be?
What would you rather be born wealthy or unattractive?
Listen, if we're saying, couple things. I'm gonna probably have to go with the wealthy, because if you have wealth, people say money don't buy love, but other people say, but it can rent it as often as they want. So my thing is, but there's no true happiness in that. But two things. Number one, the wealthy, I think that the being wealthy and not that good looking would eliminate, I guess, a portion of your life, but you can really do other things. That's one thing. So it really only stops one function of your life, in a sense, maybe an important function. But the other thing is, I remember talking with a couple of guys, and they talked about different women. And we brought up a woman named Grace Jones. If anybody knows, I was like, I guess from where she is or what, I can understand somebody seeing her being attractive. For me, I don't see that big attractive. But there's guys that look at her and say she's just beautiful and gorgeous. So even if I was born, quote unquote, ugly, there may be somebody.
I didn't say ugly.
What did you say?
Unattractive.
Unattractive to somebody, whether it's from another country, another part of the country, or somebody that's just as unattractive as I am. I could find that person, and we can do some things and some great things together, and it'd be wonderful to have that wealth to go along with it. So I'm saying, I don't think that unattractive is that damaging, because I've seen some women that I would say, well, she's not that great looking, but she carries herself well. She dressed well. She gets her hair done, all that stuff. But and people look at, okay, this is a decent woman because she keeps everything else up, does the best she can. So I think that sometimes that's just a matter of opinion how attractive or unattractive somebody is. Plus I can go to the gym and work out and neck down I could be, so that may give me a couple steps forward too. So I'm gonna go with the wealthy part because I think I can work on the. Yes, and got the money, you could fix some stuff too. I guess if you want to. I wouldn't go too far with the nose because we know somebody tried that and it didn't work out too well. But
Are you trying to throw some shade?
No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying I think he went too far. That's all.
Oh, it's a he. Mm-hmm. See, you really trying to throw the shade there.
That's all right. No,
okay. So let me ask you this then. With that being said, I'm gonna answer mine too because and then I got another question. Okay, so my answer would be probably wealthy as well because like you said with today and age, today's time, they got plastic surgery that could kind of help you may not look beautified but may get you to look a little bit better. The only thing I would be, especially as a female or as a male, same thing, you have to be you would have to know yourself, I guess, is to being taken advantage of. To someone wanting to be with me for my wealth and not necessarily for my beauty. The beauty part I would change for myself, not necessarily for someone else, but I have the option to do whatever. Or like I said, work out. And you always get the body right. It's the face. Sometimes people are like, ooh,
I mean, when it comes at you, always, I'm not going to say, I'll put this. You have to have some level of a suspect mind and not being that you think everybody's after your money, but you have to put them through something to see if they're after your money. There's things you can do and to see if that's the case. I mean, especially in the front when they don't know. I wouldn't just automatically, but I think a lot of people are either full of themselves that have money, so they think everything that's happening good and people are loving them is just because of them. They just, for some reason, they don't see that the wealth is doing it.
Right.
And some other people figure that they can buy whatever, and so they figure I could take care of that money-wise. But you really got to define, almost like, coming to America, you got to kind of put that person to the test, see if that's what they really, really want.
Darn, I lost my train of thought on that. My other thing that I was concerned about, and I can't remember, I just had it when you was talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to move to the next question?
No.
Okay.
Bum,
bum, bum, bum.
Is being the individual that I am, or that I believe that I am, is the only thing is I wouldn't want the wealth to change my humbleness or my personality is to be arrogant or feel out above anyone else. That I wouldn't want that part.
Right.
That to me, but you wouldn't know that unless you was really in that position. I'm saying if I had the option, I want to be wealthy, but I want to make sure that I'm
right. Just
humble and wealthy.
Just don't lead with your wealth. Don't lead with your best stuff. That's kind of like a common thing. You never lead with your best. You always have to say your best. So if you're looking at that's the biggest thing, don't lead with that. Lead with something else. Don't lead
I'm
with
just
your best.
saying.
Okay.
Okay. So. Okay. With the flip side of that same question, would you pick a spouse that was wealthy or unattractive?
Now, these total two separate questions, because if they're kind of similar, then I'm like, I got the wealth, so we don't need that no more.
Two separate questions. 2 separate questions.
Okay. I'm kind of feeling this way is that I think I'm gonna go the same way because, like you said, she get fixed up if she want, have. But to be honest with you, with me, things that interest me about the looks of a woman is not necessarily the beauty of a woman. I'm gonna come into something else, which is another human behavior type thing, and I want y'all to test it for yourself. But I just look for unique things in women, things that appeal to me, just in people in general, right, that brings interest in the person, is the uniqueness of them. It's like, I don't want to go into the specifics, but that's the thing that kind of pushes up for. I think when you get to a certain level, if you're going to do a scale of 1 to 10, I think you get to 8, those special features in me are the ones that take those things that's a little special that takes up to the next level. So that's kind of how I visualize it. And this is another thing. And you all put this to the test. I've told many people this, but they don't. I think when I tell them, they kind of check it out. But I don't know. You all tell me what. You take a person that you consider beautiful. The one thing that most beautiful, if you say perfect 10s, have in common, when we was talking about the face, is that they don't have any dominating features. That's what it is. The nose fits with the mouth. That size mouth goes with that size nose. The eyes are right, not gonna say right, but they don't have. So if you take a person that you say is like a 7, and you do a character of that person, the cartoon type look of them, if it's the lips, they make the lips a little bigger, or they make the nose a little bigger, or they make the ears a little bigger. There's something that's quote unquote defect in them, something that's not fit and rest. A beautiful person, if you look at them and you ask why they're beautiful, they just say, "Oh, that face, she's got a beautiful face." Why? Because there's no dominating features in their face. That's what makes them look beautiful. Test it for yourself, because if you go and you ask them what's a bad feature, you probably say, "I don't see any bad features." What's a good feature? They're all about the same, because everything's proportional. Whatever what you can proportional, there's nothing that's dominating about their face. Put it to the test. Trust me. Put it to the test. So, in saying that, I will go with the wealth. We go to the doctor, and I tell him that same theory and say, "Look, can you make this woman not have any dominating features?" And we can roll on. So that's what I do. And what'd be good is because she'll know I'm legit, because she's like, "Well, I guess she could think I'm going for the money."
Right.
Too. But be honest with you, it'd be real difficult to. I think if we don't have all that other stuff going with us, I wouldn't want to be with her anyways. We can hang out and she can buy me stuff, or we go out to eat and stuff for a while and then move on or something. If that's what we do, if I'm not that interested. But I think if I'm got to a certain level and I'm interested, we could take it to the next level. And then if it's up to her, if she want to get fixed up and stuff, I just kind of leave brochures here and there.
Mine would be wealth. Again,
okay. See,
okay.
You know me, and you do the same. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I wouldn't want it to be a controlling wealth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There have been, people that have approached that were not attractive when I was coming up, but found out they were a good person inside.
Right.
So, I still would choose well, I guess.
Sometimes it's not like being humble, and humble is based upon what you have to be humble about or where you are, because some people might have more to. So sometimes a person that's not have a whole lot going for them, those sometimes are usually people that go, "Man, that person's a really good person," because they don't, have something to put them in this situation, especially when they immature, to be humble or be a good person, because they got so much going on. So sometimes you run into that problem.
I'm done with my question.
Okay, we're finished. Okay, but y'all tell us what you think. I'd love to get if I could, just get a bunch of people, like maybe 1,000 people voting in and saying what they think. And I would think the majority of them would pick the same that we did, only because technology is huge, or time we do. Like this is back in the 19. I always do this back in the 1920s or 30s. Maybe your question might be different, because nobody had as much emphasis on being rich. They just wanted to provide and get the family going. That's all they really wanted. So they probably say, "Hey man, if I have a beautiful woman, a beautiful husband, I'll do that. I don't have to be rich, just get by every day." And they didn't have the options of, "I could fix you up and fix those buck teeth," or nothing like that. You couldn't do those. So I'm just saying, it's a little different. So here, I think most people would pick the wealth just like we did. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But before we get out of here, do me a favor. We definitely want you guys to comment. You can do all those other things with the like, and if that's beautiful too. But in this particular position, I really, really want you to comment on these questions, because that's our real emphasis, to get you to answer these questions, give us some feedback, and ask these questions of some of your friends and families, just to get people thinking, get people talking. They'll love it, trust me. But until then, I do believe that's it.
Thanks for listening to Sunshine and E.